Hi, I'm Jim Steen. Welcome to my second in the series on my Nautical library, where I'm reviewing each one of my extensive library on nautical books. This is the second book in the series, Historic Ship Models by Wolfram Mumfeld. The contents are split up into 12 sections. Starting off with historic search. Requirements. The plan. Different types. Sources where you can get the information from. When I started, there wasn't much available, very hard to find. Now we have the internet and it's just prolific now. Types of models. Various scales. This is a questionnaire, which is I've done through it a couple of times and find it very interesting. Materials and tools. What I intend to do later in a series is start to highlight some of the tools I use. Different types of woods. Traditionally where the wood came from on a ship. Metal, glass, ropes and sails. All the different hand tools. You never have enough tools. All clamps. Different chemicals. Make yourself comfortable with a nice work area. Carving is something I want to have a go at when I get some decent time and some materials. How to do it, join different materials together. Casting and etc. Harry Houdini Models had just done a part replacing a plastic part on one of his ships, and it was very interesting how he did it. Electroplating, photo etching, and plating on top of that as well. Colouring, blackening metal, the hull, the different hulls, parts of the hull, units of measurement, converting from English to millimetres. And one thing I noticed here, just looking through, the foot varies between 11 and 12 inches, depending on where you're from. Plans, how to read the plans and work them together. Constructing a fully framed ship. A building jig, I find them very useful. Keels and stern posts, frames, you notice how close together the frames are on a fully framed ship. If you've got space problems, you can work on sections of ships. You can buy kits or even construction yourself of sections of ships. Just using a book like this for reference. Deck beams. See, you can tells you how to do that. This is a example of plank on bulkhead as against plank on frame. There's not so many parts. Whales. Planking of the hull. A skill in its own right, but something you can work at. There's plenty of good videos on YouTube on planking. The decks. How to fit the decks. Marking the water lines. This nail marking wheel is actually, I think it's used for dressmaking, but I'm trying to buy one over here in Thailand and for transferring plans, and I haven't been able to find one yet. Rails and bulwarks, stern, the decoration on the sterns. Very ornate. Galleries and quarters. Galleries across the back of the ship. Quarter galleries are on the either side at the stern. The head. Figureheads. I've got a book on figureheads. I'll review that later on. I've noticed people are starting to buy 3D printed parts for this top part area. I'm not too quite sure on that, because what you'd end up doing is 3D in the whole ship, and all you're doing is sticking it together. I enjoy the interest of getting things right. Rudders. All the different fittings. Dead eyes. Channel plates. Channels. How to rig them in different periods. Scuppers, which were the holes in to let the water off the deck. Ladders or companionways. Compass or binnacle. The book, when I bought it, came with corrections, so that's very good. Because there's only about 4 or 5 errors in the whole book, which is very well done. Steering gear. Poop lantern. Friend building a model on YouTube put a red light in his poop lantern, and it looked fantastic. Ship's bells. Riding bits. Bits around the mast. And pin rails on the against the bulwarks on the side of the ships. Armament. Very extensive period, because it changed over the periods. Rates, how you rate a ship from first rate of 100 more guns down to a cutter with 8 to 12 guns. Gun port lids, capstan, and windlasses, anchors, all different types and how to fit them. Pumps, ship's pumps, keep them afloat. Ship's boats, all different such types. Boat crutches and davits, whichever part of the world you're on. Oars, boarding nets and hammock nettings. Exposed machinery, more so when the steam era came along. Paddle wheels. Masts and yards, very important part of the ship. It's worth spending some time studying the different parts of the ship. Masts, how they're put together. Cross trees. Tops. You often hear them referred to as crow's nest, but I think that's just a bit of misdemeanour. They were more likely referred to in the time as tops. Different masts, bowsprit, jib boom, proportion of yards, so you can work out what you've got to do. Yards, all the different types over the years. Boat masts, different types of rigs on the stern, whether between the gaff rig on the mizzen or lantine. Ropes, hawsers, cables, all different variations. Blocks and dead eyes make the ship, and if they're too big or too small, it can ruin a model. Different other parts of ship. Sails changed over the period of times, and also between ships. The captains had their own preferred sails. Colouring on the sails. How to make the sails. How to add the bolt ropes to the sails. Bonnets and reef, how you tie the sail up. Bending the sail or fitting the sail to the yards. Gaff sail, which replaced the Atlantine. Stay sails and all the others. As you can see, there's a lot of sails. Standing rigging, which is the main driving force with the shrouds to drive the ship. How to fit the bowsprit, bobstay, or how they actually loaded parts onto the ship. They had to use block and tackle to raise it because there's no machinery. Different shrouds, different ways of fitting shrouds. Very important to get your dead eyes in line. There's nothing worse. It catches the eye if you got it wrong. Backstays, different from the shrouds. All the different stays over the period, how they actually put the ships together. A very complicated piece. The mainstay was a main important part of machinery. How they actually attach the bowsprit. Running rigging. Miles and miles of rigging. Must look it up somewhere. I've got it written down how much the Victory carried in rope or lines on board. The braces used to control the direction of the sails or the yards so the sails can fill. Sheets and tackle. Studding sails, which were rigged outside the main sails. How they furl sails. All the different flags. And then we go into the list of museums and the appendix, which has all the translation between different languages of what the parts are called. Our index, and that's our book. Thanks for watching. Please hit the like button, subscribe, and ring that bell to get notifications. So thanks for watching, and it's cheerio till next time. Bye.